G'day. I'm actually really excited to record this video because I finally figured out how to use the specify node tags in a way that's useful. It took me a lot longer than I'm willing to admit to figure it out, but I finally cracked it and I'm excited to share it with all of you. First off, I just want to just quickly see if there's any way that we could do this in the Markdown version, but I don't think that there would be any way. So we would have to use a car example. So we'll just go with car template, right? We'll create a page for template and let me zoom you in a little bit there. Now, the problem is here, and this is mainly a limitation of the Markdown version. I'm sure there's like a potentially hacky way that you could organize this and you could, I don't know. But I mean, if we want to define these metadata fields, we really only have one choice but to type them in manually. So if we want to say, oh, it's a cool new car, so it must be from 2026. Color, I don't know, pearlescent, we'll say, I don't know, whatever. Make would be awesome car make. And then the model would be fantastic car model, right? And this is, it's the Supra variant. Okay, but the problem is that all of these fields are just text. We can't do anything with these. And we can see this when we go in and we have a look at the actual Markdown file. So I mean, it's literally just a Markdown file. So, you know, this is all just text. So it's kind of, it's masquerading as real metadata because it's not truly metadata. So there's no good way to do that. I mean, I could probably sit and think for a long time, but I really want to just show you how it works in the database version of Logseq. So let's open that one up and I'll first show you how I was trying to do it and how I started thinking about it. And then we'll go into like how I think it should be done, or, you know, at least a good option for how it can be done. So because we have actual properties and we have named types and all the rest of it, we can define, so we can just define a car tag. So this is a bit easier in the database version. So we could define a car tag, right? And then we start filling out our properties. So we've got year, and year can be a number. And then we've got color. Color, you could choose text or node for a color. Choose text if you're only ever going to be logging this color one time. But you could choose node if you wanted to define one color multiple times. So I'll just choose node because I usually choose text, but we'll choose node just to see how it works. And then we could do make. And for make, we can choose node and we'll skip the tag for now. And then under that, we can have model, also node, skip choosing a tag. And then we could also have variant and we'll make that a node as well, just in case. So this is our car template. So this is one way that you could approach it. And I mean, it's perfectly valid. So anytime that you want to define a car, you could do this, right? But what happens if you, for whatever reason, need to define many cars? Say, for example, you're creating a database of cars or something like that. So this model may work, but it's probably not the best approach. So now I'll go through what I discovered, and I mean, you can adjust this and you could probably improve upon it as well. So we're in a fresh graph now. So we're in this thinking that we want to log a whole bunch of different cars, right? And so we don't want to, we'll just keep it as that. Like we want to define a whole bunch of cars. So how should we approach it? Well, we can use specify node tags to our advantage. And there's a few different ways that you could approach this problem. I will just show you one potential way that you could approach it. So first off, the discovery that I made was that when you use specify node tags, you link them to tags, right? So what I discovered was that if you add a tag to a block and you've got that tag, why don't I just show you? I'll just show you. It's a bit easier, right? We'll create a page called year. We'll create a page called color. We'll create a page called, this one we'll define as car make. Yeah, we'll call it car make. We'll define another page for car model, and we'll also define another page for car variant. Okay, so I'm going to just list out the years. Okay, so that's going to cover all of the years. Now this is where the magic happens. Okay, so we highlight all of these, and then you see the hashtag there. So we're going to click on that, and then we are going to define a new option, year. So we're going to create a distinct, remember that pages and tags are two distinct things. And this is one reason why it's a good idea to have it this way. So now you'll see that all of these numbers, which, you know, you'll recognize as a year format, they all have the year hashtag. And so we're going to go through and we're going to do the same thing for all of the pages. Okay, so how do we link this all connected all together? So we're going to create our tag that we did before of car, and then in the properties we are going to define so we can create the new option. Don't convert year to property. We don't want to do that. You want to make sure that it's a new option, and then you choose node here, and then for when it asks you what tag you want, you choose color there. And what that does is if we click on year now and we go to specify node tags, you'll notice it's got hashtag color. So I'll keep adding those, and then you'll see how it works in the example. Okay, so we've got our car template set up now, and it's connected to all of this. So we've basically wired it all up, right? So, oh, just remembered my favorite car is and we could just say like Skyline. Okay, so now this is where we see the magic coming to life. So instead of having to choose or manually type in the year every time, specified node tags, no, color, that's year. All right, so this time it will work properly. So when we click on this, it now comes up with the year. So we can go down and we can choose year, new color. Oh, we've only got two colors. We'll choose gunmetal gray, and make Nissan model Skyline variant GTR. So yeah, I mean, this is really handy. And you know, so now we can look at the car hashtag, and you can, so the name is kind of like whatever you want it to be, basically. And you know, there's different ways that I can think about this working. So year can be very disconnected from the car, right? So I mean, you might even go into the year. So, oh, what happened in 1998 or something like that, right? And you'll see all of the link references. You can change this view. So the link references here, it's currently in the list, but you can set it to the table view. So then you can see like everything that you've got logged for the year 1990. So you could look through and you could say like, oh, the Supra, you know, the Mark IV Supra came out, you know, in 1998 or something like that. So year is just going to show all of the years. So if you want to look at colors and stuff like that, but I think for us the most interesting one would be car, right? So if we go to the car page, then we can see this data nicely laid out in the table. And of course it's not going to, so the way that we've organized it right now is not going to stop people from choosing the wrong option. So let me create an incorrect, we'll put it in quotes, entry for fictitious car. Okay, and we can go in here and we will, of course, assign the car tag to it, and then we'll just choose a year. So we'll say, oh, 2002 Nissan Supra variant GTS. I mean, this car doesn't exist in reality. Hopefully you got some value out of that. Yeah, see you in the next one.